Hello and welcome to the Stars of Comedy. I'm Akriti Tyagi. I read a quote by Leonardo da Vinci once. All great acts of genius began with the same consideration. Do not be constrained by your present reality. Our guest for today is a rare person you meet in the world of Bollywood. His biography in his own words would read something like this. There was a guy, he was born, he got married, had 2 kids, was happy, and he died. He comes from a Bollywood-centric family, has dabbled with acting since the age of 13. His first break in the film industry was with Delhi Belly. Let's get to know him better. Please welcome Kunaal Roy Kapur. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, Kunaal.
Pleasure.
Very obvious question. You belong to a Bollywood family.
Yeah, we've become a Bollywood family.
Okay. Was it a natural progression to, films as a result?
Well, we didn't start off like that. I think we've all had our own journeys. I used to act on stage from a very young age, since I was 12, 13 years old. My younger brother Aditya was part of a television channel as a VJ, and my elder brother was in the corporate world, did his MBA, and through that, I think we've all found ourselves in films, and we've all had our own sort of journeys there. We've played a part in each other's lives, but I don't think we've influenced them to that extent. But yes, the industry is small, so paths do cross and things like that. But we'd like to believe that we've all made our own way into the industry, and we've all been fascinated by it. We love entertainment. We love theatre and films and music and dance, and that runs in our family. My mother was a dance teacher, is a choreographer, and my grandfather and my grandparents were dance teachers. So I guess it's something that runs in the family, the entertainment business, the arts. So yeah, I think in a sense it was a natural progression for all of us to be drawn to this environment.
As you mentioned, you've done theatre for the longest time.
Yeah.
Theatre for 10 years and then Bollywood.
Right.
Again, something that, just happened, or was it?
Yeah, it was just something that happened. I mean, alongside theatre, I was assisting Baman Irani as a photographer. I also had other career options going on side by side, because I mean, acting isn't always, it's not something that's always going to work out. But theatre is something that, especially in Bombay, it's something that you do because you love doing it. It's not something that pays the bills, at least not as yet.
Sure.
And that's changing. I mean, it's changing over the last few years. You've seen the rise of stand-up comedy. You've seen things, but that isn't necessarily theatre. It's stand-up comedy. I mean, it's a guy standing on stage and telling jokes. But yeah, I guess in a sense, the journey from theatre to film was luck, was chance, was just being around at the right place at the right time. Maybe just a little bit of talent might have something to do with it, but just a lot of people are talented, but it doesn't work out for everyone.
How come comedy?
Honestly, those are the roles that have just come my way. It's not something that I focused on. Like even while doing theatre, it wasn't something that I was focusing on. I mean, comedy, I happened to be a part of a few comedy plays. But I did as many dramas, So I don't see myself as a comic actor. I just see myself as an actor, really. So
who's just done very well in comedy.
Who's just done a lot of comedy, and fortunately or unfortunately, I'll continue to do that through the rest of my life. But hopefully, I'll also get the odd dramatic role, or the odd protagonist or antagonist or whatever you might call it. But yeah, I mean, you can't run away from something that people like to see you doing. So
but does it bother you, the tag of being, a comedian and
no, not at all. I mean, see, that you have a tag and people recognize you is something that's great in itself.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? That
your work is speaking for itself.
Yeah, no, the fact that people just know of you. I mean, few people know of you, but it's nice that people do, and if they associate you with comedy, so be it. But it's a great thing, and I think that if if you do excel at something and people do appreciate you for that, then there's no point running away from it.
Sure. Do you think as Indians we have a sense of humor?
You know, the thing is that we love a good laugh. We love a good hearty laugh. We love laughing at other people. We love laughing at a lot more. We love laughing at famous people, at celebrities, at people from different castes and communities, and laughing at ourselves is a little bit tricky. It gets a little murky. People do tend to take it too seriously. They tend to, you know, they sometimes the thing is they just get too sensitive. And I think that they think that if someone says something, it's going to change the world, you know, in the sense it isn't. It just happens to be that person making a joke. It might not even be his strong opinion on that matter.
Absolutely.
It's just a joke sometimes. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, things can be offensive. I'm not saying all comedy is inoffensive. Sometimes the fact that it is offensive is what makes it entertaining. But you got to take that on your, you know, on your chin and just like either you laugh at it, or if it's not your cup of tea, you just move on, you know. But I don't think that has developed enough in our country, but it's changing. I mean, people are opening up to it a little more, but it's going to be a long time before we see a fully liberal atmosphere.
Sure. I mean, you know, just taking that thought process forward, AIB roast happened and one got to see the amount of negativity that came up.
Right.
Why is it that we do not have, do you think our senses are not developed enough to be able to take a joke literally at its face value and move on? Why is there a you know, sense of self-righteousness that we have to call a spade, we have to fight, we don't know how to keep our egos aside?
See, everyone's entitled to an opinion, you know, everyone's entitled to say, oh, that was crap, didn't like it, didn't enjoy it. But to say that it can't happen or to shut it down, that's a separate issue altogether. I mean, to not like the way someone acts or the way someone behaves, it's all very well, but you cannot enforce yourself upon that person to stop that person from doing what they do. You know, I just think that that is where the line between freedom and freedom of expression and freedom of, you know, you can't really cross that. That's why I have huge issues with censorship in general, and I think that the rating system is far more appropriate in any country. I think that there are things that are inappropriate for people of a certain age to view. Of course. I have children. I don't want them to be watching half the stuff that's on television. And I think that we need age-appropriate programming. We need age-appropriate, you know, we need someone to just tell us, listen, we think this is appropriate for these, I mean, for this age group. This is appropriate for anyone above this age group, and then you take your decision. It has this. We need, you know, I mean, the way they do it in a lot of countries. But to impose yourself to say that no, please AIB, just like don't shut your mouth, don't say a thing, that I feel is wrong entirely. You know, you can have an opinion to it. No, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way they were. Fine, don't like it, but whatever, it has to.
Don't stop a freedom of expression.
Don't. I mean, you can't curb that. You know, so that becomes an issue. If you know that you're here to stay, then your career is kind of over. I think that the thing that keeps most actors and artists and comics and everyone going is the fact that you're not here to stay. Is the fact that you're just here for a few seconds. You know, you might not be here tomorrow. And people will end up hating you sooner rather than later. So if they like you for those few seconds, just try and extend that moment out, you know, drag it out as much as possible.